funding, baseline funding, baseline funding, baseline funding.
So what is baseline funding? It's a simple idea. It's an idea that sets aside 2.5% of the property tax levy for libraries, so that every year our members do not have to receive layoff notices when libraries are threatened to be cut again. It is a very simple process. Many municipalities already do it. And the fact is, in New York City is way, way behind funding in libraries. It's way behind San Francisco and Chicago. It's way behind Philadelphia and even Boston. So what are we asking for? We see a lot of you with coffees in your hand. This is what baselining is. Would you give up not taking 4 cups of Starbucks lattes every year to provide proper funding for libraries? That's what we're asking.
Good morning. I hope that you can hear me because I regard this as a very serious subject. Every year we come hand in hand begging for funding for one of the most vital services in the city, which says a whole lot about elected officials other than those who have been very supportive of us. First of all, our libraries receive over 40 million people a year. They are informational bureaus as well as first libraries, because when you're unemployed, any of the services, sometimes the parents leave the children there. We have, I guess, about 5 or 6 major services growing out of the libraries, so they're information bureaus. And here we come begging in order to get them funded. They're used for political purposes, and it also starves our city councilors, individuals who are sensitive to this matter of the funds that they can use for their community. So we're going to start a campaign, and nobody's going to pass through the council and is not going to be concerned in libraries, which is an addition to our schools. How can you talk about schools and not talk about the libraries? And so this will be something very new that we're going to put on as part of our political campaign. I want to thank you for being here. Very serious matter, and I'm calling on the city council to do as they always have done. Fund the libraries, keep them alive, and next year will be our year as workers and community people to make the changes necessary to keep New York viable.
I would like to call Eileen Mueller, President of Local 1482, to the podium.
And showing your support to the 3 library systems in New York City. We're here today because we know that it's important and we want to share that with you. What do I want you to know about? I want you to know about baseline funding and the problems that we have had to plan programs in the libraries, because we never know from year to year how much money we're going to have. Since fiscal year 2011, as Lillian Roberts said, over 40 million people came to the libraries and used the public library systems, the 206 public library system branches in the 5 boroughs. Since fiscal year 2009, the funding for libraries is down $67 million, or 22.1%. Baseline funding is the most important thing that we can have for the public library systems in New York City. So please, take the message, pass the message on. This is the most important thing that we have, is well-funded public libraries.
We cannot have libraries and the children and the seniors and the immigrants of the city of New York held hostage every year by this ridiculous budget dance. The city council is committed to libraries. It is my life's work, libraries. But if we have mayors, if we have administrations that think that it is sane to propose a $106 million reduction to libraries in one fiscal year, then we will never get to the place that we need to get. We should be hiring more librarians. We should be hiring more custodians. We should be hiring more clerks. These are the folks who live and work in all of our districts. They are the heart and soul of our neighborhoods. You cannot have community without libraries. There is no such thing as a neighborhood without a neighborhood library.
Bad news today
is that the mayor is proposing to cut $106 million from the budget of libraries. The good news is that January 1st, 2014, good riddance. We need to stand strong this time and say he's not getting a penny, not a single cent from our libraries. The good news is that the mayor doesn't pass the budget, the city council does. The city council does. We have to use our power. And then I think we need to deliver a message today to all of the mayoral candidates, the ones who want to take over on January 1st, 2014. You don't get a single vote from us or support from us unless you support the 2% baseline plan.
I was a New York City public school teacher for 25 years in Queens, and I have to tell you, kids needed the library every day. They needed them to do research, to do projects. They needed them as after-school centers because they had no other place to go. So it is ridiculous that year after year after year, we have to continue to fight to restore cuts to the library. It's time that it ended, and it's time that these funds be baseline. Thank you very much.
Now, last but not least, we would like to call the Queens Library President John Heisler, President Local 1321. John.
My name is John Heslop. I represent the workers, the union workers at the Queens Library. Almost every year for the past 10 years, the mayor has proposed drastic cuts. Every spring, library staff waste our limited resources advocating and planning for an unknown future, worrying about library services and our careers. Finally, the budget is passed, and thanks to the City Council, much of the proposed cut is restored. However, not all the restorations are made, and the mayor gets what he wants, a cut to the library's budgets. I want to say Local 1321 members are angry. Angry that we are stuck in the middle of this crazy budget process of proposed cuts, threats of layoffs, and eventual budget restorations. That is why District Council 37, Locals 374, 1321, 1482, and 1930 are compelled to take bold action and propose baseline funding legislation that guarantees consistent, adequate funding of libraries every year. This legislation will allow the three system staff to provide all the services our customers expect, to plan for new and innovative library services, to ensure our customers have a vast array of materials, programs, and services, and finally, for us to feel secure in our profession. Let us end this destructive budget process. Every library supporter, every politician, every library staff member that cares about their libraries must stand up and say it's time to end this crazy budget dance and support baseline funding legislation. Thank you.